What is it that really drives you with that?
I think for me, I think just have a curiosity for how certain things work. I think to be honest, it initially stemmed from when I first did start work. I did feel like the stuff you start when you are a graduate engineer isn't. I didn't think it was as intense as when I was studying, and I did miss the intensity. So initially, it did start as a way for me to maybe just use some of the stuff I learned in university, and then maybe just put it out to a way that's digestible to people who maybe didn't study engineering. And then from there, it just became a thing of, I think that there's an opportunity to make lots of videos for kids. And I think it was the same time I was started getting involved with STEM volunteering. So I thought I could bring the two worlds together where my interest in just doing research and also my STEM volunteering could come together. And I could even use the videos that I've made for just because I wanted to. And then I could bring them into the STEM volunteering that I was doing. So that's kind of how things came about.
Oh, it's really interesting. And it's interesting to see it from a professional side because I know many different guests that I speak to are traditionally still either within academia or going through that process. And one of the things that's really interesting is to see you're still trying to do the STEM volunteering and particularly working, by the sounds of it, to take what is a clear passion of yours and that interest in how different things work to promoting that into a more digestible format, particularly on platforms like TikTok, because that's where the next generation goes for a lot of its information. And if they don't have accounts like yourself promoting it, then how are they going to find it because they don't necessarily go through the traditional channels as much as they should.
Definitely.
So thinking more generally, so it's a similar style of question, but it's more thinking about what drove you into engineering before. Was there a eureka moment or did you just always...
That question, I feel like, is a funny one for me. I feel like I've always wanted to be going to engineering, but now looking back at it as Don is 25, I now think, was that my idea or was that something my parents kind of pushed me into the direction of? But that being said, I think I did have the influence of having a lot of family members who were in engineering. So, for example, my granddad was a civil engineer, and just hearing about some of the work he worked on in Nigeria, I think was inspiring to me. Also hearing, I've got two uncles, one who's electrical engineering and one who's mechanical engineering as well. So I think just having that influence around me and then just being curious as well, I think all of those things kind of led me to think maybe engineering's the pathway for me. But it's definitely something I wanted to do as a child as well.